Language of business. We will be focusing in this module on the language which is used in business and basically on grammar and vocabulary. The scope of our teaching business English is to increase language knowledge and communication skills in our learners. Let us first look at the definitions of grammar. The first is conventions and rules of a language used by native speakers. So basically, these conventions tell us what is right and wrong, what we can do with the grammar or the language, and what we cannot do. Those things which are permissible and those which are not. Then structures of the categories of language, and this entails to study the rules of the language. Grammar accuracy in most cases is black and white, meaning that either it is right or it is wrong. Either the way the sentence is structured, grammatically structured, either it is right or it is wrong. But then there are some gray areas. For example, there are different varieties of English. There are the British variety, there is the American variety, there is Australian variety. So then perhaps there could be some differences regarding agreement about the grammar rules there. But grammar accuracy is in most cases given. For example, as shown in the image, we can see here that in the first two exchanges, this presentation will covers. And second, I have divided my talk into 4 main points. Here, anybody can see that grammatically we cannot call these sentences correct sentences. However, the next 2 ones have some gray areas. For example, there's 3 companies in the group. Here, somebody can argue that in some contexts this could be right. And is it you or me who will sign to this report? Here also, somebody can argue that this can be correct too. So, what about the grammar which is used in business? Is it a special type of grammar which is used? No, the language which is used in grammar it doesn't have a specific category. There is no grammar which we can say is specifically made for business English. Business English utilizes all grammatical forms of journal English. Okay, so we cannot say that in business English we are employing some special grammatical forms. However, there might be a prevalence of certain forms and genres. For example, there could be more prevalent nominal forms, the passive voice, or the simple present tense. Okay, as far as the vocabulary is concerned, it presents the main building blocks of functional meaning in language. Words are bound together by grammar, and without words, normal interaction cannot succeed. Okay, so within business, we have different types of vocabularies which are used. First category is specialist, meaning that the vocabulary which is used between 2 groups which are both specialists. Then we have the other category is specialist to non-specialist and non-specialist to specialist. And the third category is journalist to journalist. So let us look at this in detail. When 2 groups of people are talking or 2 individuals who are both specialists are talking, what type of vocabulary will they use? So here there would be a need for a range of vocabulary shared professionally. So both would be using vocabulary which they share professionally. And then the precise lexical items would be required depending on the topic which is under discussion. Then this vocabulary can be predicted. When people know that they are going to meet people who are of their same specialty, then they can very well predict what type of vocabulary will be used in the interaction between them. The next category is specialist, non-specialist, and non-specialist, specialist. Here, it is interaction between teams, which might be multifaceted groups, and there is a need for language knowledge. The language knowledge between the specialist and the non-specialist. And then needs business vocabulary of their own area. And then the interaction between multidisciplinary work groups context. So vocabulary which is both specialist and non-specialist will be needed. Then journalist, this is the conversation and interaction which takes place outside the boardrooms and corporate offices. This reflects on the social side of business communication, which is supposed to be very important in building business relationships. So there is a need for general purpose vocabulary regarding economic, personal issues, and about the environment.